Universal Pictures presents Godzilla vs. the Comet.
Run away, it's Godzilla! That's one thing bigger!
Nothing can stop Godzilla! It seems the superheroes are ineffective in combating the monster.
That's one thing bigger! Let's look!
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Science rules.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
You and I live on a planet with a moon. Now, there are lots of planets with moons, and they all orbit the sun. But they're not the only things orbiting the sun. There are also tons and tons of rocks and ice, comets and meteors. When you see a streak of light in the sky, well, that's a chunk of rock burning up in the Earth's atmosphere, a meteor. When you see a star with a fuzzy tail, that's a dusty chunk of ice heated by the sun, a comet. Now, comets and meteors are all through the solar system, but most of them are way out there, past the orbits of all the planets. So far out that our own sun looks about like any other star. Now, comets and meteors are made of the same stuff as the planets. They were formed about the same time, and they go around the sun just like we do. Comets and meteors are part of our world.
Hey! What you got?
Nothing?
That's Tickle Me Meteorite, isn't it?
Nuh-uh.
Come on, let me see it.
No way! Get your own!
Aw, please.
He's so groovy, he's out of sight. He's Tickle Me Meteorite.
Yes, it's Tickle Me Meteorite.
You just pull his nose.
I have existed since the beginning of the solar system.
Here, let me try.
Comets and meteors travel vast distances in space.
Let me hold him.
Occasionally, meteors impact planets and moons, leaving deep craters on the surface. There is a theory that a meteor impact led to the extinction of the dinosaurs.
He's Tickle Me Meteorite.
It's Tickle Me Meteorite. Catch it fast before this offer burns up and disappears.
Good evening. Our next story is about elliptical orbits. This is the Earth. It takes a year to go around the sun, and its orbit is an ellipse. This is the orbit of a meteoroid. Many of them go out beyond the orbit of Mars. Now, this orbit is also shaped like an ellipse. This is the orbit of a comet. It's a very elongated ellipse because it takes comets such a long time to go around the sun. Most of them start their journey way out here, way out beyond the orbit of Pluto. Now, different comets have different orbits, depending on where they come from and what they're made of. It might take one comet 76 years to go around the sun, another comet 100 years, or 1,000 years, or tens of thousands of years. But all of these bodies, the planets, the meteorites, and the comets, are held in orbit by the pull of the sun's gravity, and all of their orbits are ellipses. Thank you.
Hey.
Comets travel in paths around the sun called orbits. But a comet's orbit is in a circle. It's a shape called an ellipse.
What?
An ellipse.
Could you say that one more time?
Ellipse.
Gotcha.
You can make an ellipse at home. Take 2 push pins and stick them about 30 centimeters apart on a piece of paper. Make sure you've got cardboard behind the paper. Then tie a knot in a string that's about 50 centimeters long. Put the string over the push pins and using a pen to keep the string pulled tight, draw all the way around the paper. Comets travel around the sun in paths shaped like this. It's an ellipse.
What?
Knock it off.
Recently, scientists photographed a string of comets slamming into the planet Jupiter. They started out as one big comet, but the pull of Jupiter's gravity is so strong, it broke them up into smaller chunks. Now, I say small, they were each a few kilometers across, and they slammed into the planet at over 60 kilometers a second, leaving big black spots the size of the Earth. The size of the Earth! Now, if one of those cometary chunks had hit our planet, well, we wouldn't be standing here talking right now, I can tell you that. Now, this photo opportunity on Jupiter wasn't a big surprise. See, scientists saw it coming and charted its course for years, which is good, because if we can predict the orbits of comets, then we can figure out whether we're in the clear or we should start worrying. So right now, as far as we can tell, we're in the clear for the next 1,000 years or so.
Meteoroids are chunks of rocks and metal that orbit the sun.
Comets are chunks of ice and dust that also orbit the sun. Excuse me.
So there's meteoroids and comets.
Excuse me.
When you see a rock fall out of the sky and land on the Earth, you know it's a meteorite. Now, the first thing you do when you analyze any rock is look them over. You can see that the edges are rounded and they're deep pock marks caused by the friction of passing through the Earth's atmosphere. On top of that, it's magnetic. It's made of metal. Now, this one has hardly any metal in it at all. This one turns out to be a combination of both rocks and metals. We know because we sliced it in half and polished it. You can see that this doesn't look like any of the rocks we find on Earth. Now, these over here don't look like any of the other 3. It turns out that both of these are from Mars.
The meteorites. And there were signs and portents in the sky. People from coast to coast began seeing something up there. Visitors from outer space.
This is a meteorite from outer space. Looks like a mirror.
This probably would have made a big crash when it hit the ground.
It's really heavy and it's rough. I can't believe it weighs this much.
This meteorite is special because it's from Mars.
We know it's from Mars because it has little bitty pockets that have gases from Mars.
Micrometeorites are so common that hundreds of millions of these fall to the Earth every day.
And you can find them in rainwater and in your backyard.
Congratulations, you found a micrometeorite.
It gives you a weird feeling holding things that have been flying through space for billions of years.
The following story is true and reflects events as they actually occurred. Once upon a time, a rock was orbiting the sun. Oh, about the time the solar system was formed. Then, one day, 16 million years ago,
The rock slammed into the surface of Mars with enough force to knock a piece of the Martian ground into space, with enough speed to escape the pull of the planet's gravity, with enough speed to escape the planet's gravitational pull. Eventually, it crossed the path of the Earth's orbit at precisely the moment the Earth was passing through that sector of space. The rock came hurtling into the Earth's atmosphere, and aerodynamic drag caused the surface of the rocky meteoroid to ablate. To burn up, because it was hot. Ablate. A tiny fragment of that meteoroid made it almost all the way to the surface of the Earth, 2/3 of which, I remind you, is covered with ocean. 2/3 covered with ocean. Yet that meteorite found its way to a narrow strip of land near Nakhla, Egypt, where an unsuspecting dog happened to be going for his daily walk. The meteorite hit the dog and killed him, like that. Let's face it, my friends, that was one doggone unlucky dog. And as we say in science, he never knew it hit him. I remind you, this story is true.
Tonight on Nye TV, Little Meteorite on the Prairie.
What is it, Pa?
That's a meteorite, half-pint. It's not a big meteorite because it probably got burned up going through the atmosphere. It's a little meteorite.
Wow. Pa, so what you're saying is that this meteorite came from outer space, and now it's on our prairie. It's our little meteorite on the prairie. Can we keep it? Will it hurt us?
No, half-pint. Just burn up metal and stone.
You think it's got any iridium in it?
That might have, Brian, it might. Sometimes they're indistinguishable from terrestrial rocks. They have iron and nickel, and well, yes, iridium is much more common in meteors than on Earth's crust, which might help to explain the extinction of the dinosaurs.
12, maybe 20 billion years ago, there was a huge explosion, what scientists call the Big Bang. Within minutes of the Big Bang, tiny particles came together to form gases like hydrogen and helium. Then gravity brought those together to form stars. Well, then about 6 billion years ago, many of those stars had so much pressure built up inside them that they exploded. And we call each explosion a supernova. Anyway, that material drifted through space, and eventually gravity brought it together to form our sun and all the planets. Now, at the same time, the comets, asteroids, and meteoroids were formed. So when we look at a meteorite like this one, we're looking at a rocky, icy, cosmic time capsule. It's cool.
And the quarterback drops back and...
Whoa! Whoa! Look at that flash! Oh, my! It's a meteorite or something!
Why isn't the Earth covered with craters the way the moon is? Please consider the following. When a meteoroid heads for the moon, there's nothing to slow it down. So wham! It makes a crater. When a meteoroid heads for the Earth, it has to pass through at least 80 kilometers of thin air. Rub your hands together. You know they get warm? That's friction. Well, meteoroids are going so fast that the friction of the air makes them heat up. Now, you may not know this, but metal burns. This is a piece of steel wool. It's mostly iron, just like a meteorite. If it were to hit the Earth's atmosphere, it would start to heat up. Now, the faster it's going, the more oxygen it passes through, so it really heats up, like this. Now, most of the meteoroids that hit the Earth's atmosphere burn up completely, but not all of them. See, you can still find meteoroid craters on the Earth's surface if you know where to look. Like, this is Meteor Crater in Arizona. This is Manicouagan in Quebec, Canada. This is Karakul in Afghanistan in Asia. And this is Basumtwi in Ghana, Africa. Now, these meteorite craters are huge, and there's still hundreds of them on the Earth's surface. But wind, water, ice, and volcanoes help smooth them over. See, every planet and moon in the solar system has been hit with meteorites. But not all of them have a nice atmosphere to protect them. Well, thank you for joining me on Consider the Following.
When comets and meteors hit a moon or planet, they can leave a crater. You can see craters on the face of the moon.
Excuse me.
A meteorite impact on the Earth's surface. So how do we know that this big hole, this crater, was made by a meteorite? Well, here's the evidence. First of all, its shape. It's almost perfectly round, and it's big. It's huge. Whatever made this hole must have been big. Now, when we look at the rim, the edge of the crater, we see that it's higher than the high desert floor around here. Something must have lifted that material up. When we look at the surface of these rocks, something made them change from this color to this color. Well, it turns out it's heat, pressure, being mashed and squeezed and mushed. So something must have mushed and squeezed this rock. Now, on top of that, this white rock is not normally on the surface. We don't find it around on the high desert floor. But there is a layer of white rock underneath a layer of red rock in this crater. So something must have mushed and squeezed these rocks and lifted them up on top of the red layer. It turns out that this big hole, this crater, was made by a great big rock, a meteorite from outer space. Woo! When we look at the far side of the crater, over there, we see that it's higher than the rim where we're standing. So we figured the meteorite came from that part of the sky, like this. Boom! It was going so fast that it could have made it from those mountains over there, 30 kilometers away, to here in less than a second and a half. It would have been like 1/1000.
We now return to Leave It to Meteor.
Ah, geez, Meteor. Why do you gotta go lugging around that hunk of rock?
It's not just a rock. It's a meteor. Besides, I like playing with it.
It's only a meteor when it's in the atmosphere. After it lands, it's called a meteorite.
I know, Wally. But if my nickname were Meteorite, the kids would razz me for being a goof.
Who's the goof now? Dad's gonna burn up like space dust entering the Earth's atmosphere.
It's Comet Hale-Bopp. We were able to see it for about 3 weeks. But by the time you see the show, the comet will be gone. Long gone. Back into the cold, dark emptiness of space. Bah! Huh. Hi, I'm Bill. That's Comet Hale-Bopp.
Yes, I'm Hale. And I'm Bob.
It's ice that makes comets different from asteroids and meteoroids. As a comet gets near the sun, the heat of the sun and the solar wind vaporizes the ice and makes a stream of charged gas particles we call the ion tail. Now, at the same time, the little bits of rock that are embedded in the ice get blown into space and form a second tail we call the dust tail. It's made of thousands and thousands of tiny meteoroids that orbit right along with the comet. So we end up with an ion tail that points straight away from the sun and a dust tail that's a little bit curved. So we get two tails from one comet. It's two tails from one. An asteroid is a big chunk of rock in space that never became part of a planet. A small asteroid is called a meteoroid. Now, if a rock enters the Earth's atmosphere and starts to burn up and leaves a bright streak in the sky, we call it a meteor. If a piece of that rock lands on the Earth's surface, well, then we call it a meteorite. Asteroid, meteoroid, meteor, meteorite, right?
There are so many comets and meteors in the sky, but we only see a few that fly close by. When they're on a course that brings them too near, they start to burn if they hit the Earth's atmosphere. Might make it all the way to the ground. Might make a crater big and round. Comets and meteors got me looking up into the sky now. They're made of dirt and ice, you know they're in orbit around the sun now.
Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching. If you'll excuse me, I've got some subcrustal crater cartography to collate. See ya!
Produced in association with the National Science Foundation.
Did you ever make a wish on a shooting star? Well, guess what? They're not stars at all. They're meteors. Most of these meteors don't even make it to the Earth's surface because they burn up on their way through the atmosphere. We see them burning up as streaks of light. On any given night, there's a meteor flashing across the sky about once every hour. So the next time you see one, instead of making a wish on a shooting star, make a wish on a blazing, burning meteor.